All right, this will be the day trading recap for Monday, August 24th, 2026. So looking at the market, price has sold off a bit from all-time highs. It's been in a bit of a channel, seen kind of some choppier sell-off days. Not the cleanest price action, and then just these previous few sessions, we've seen a little bit of a balance range form. It's not the cleanest thing ever, but we have it down here marked out. And then just looking at the volume profile, you can see been pushing down, but it's been choppy. Like this move all overall happened down, but we see a bell curve. This day overall pushed down, but we have a bell curve. So tricky price action. Main thing I was watching for was first just mean reversions out of either one of these two key levels. Then if we were to break the support level, I was kind of watching for a failed break into demand in this other or previous higher time frame resistance level. It's this demand area right from there. Watching a bounce from there. Then to the upside, if we were able to break this resistance, I would then be looking for longs into this previous all-time high. All right, so market opens. Our support level is 65.56. We sell off. The sell off starts to slow down just about a point above our level of interest there at 65s. And getting an entry. This first entry in hindsight is not good at all. So I saw aggression into the level. It slowed down. Some buying came off of it. Absorption on this pullback entry. I'm not really seeing the absorption and aggression that I would like to see to get in this setup to even validate it at the beginning. So this entry was definitely forced. It was really just a slow down, tiny rally, get it on the pullback. Yeah, and that, I mean, you can see that I lost within about a minute. Lost 2 points in the tick on that, so nice and small, but really just an unnecessary entry. Now the second entry is a lot better. Here this is that first move I got in on right here. This time we can actually see some absorption occurring down here at the lows. See that there, followed by an aggressive move. We actually have an aggressive move. Look at this move compared to this tiny little move. And then on the pullback, we see exhaustion, which is exactly what we want to see. Sellers get weak, buying comes in. I take a stab at that long. And this one moved in my favor. I was able to reduce my risk a little bit. Then it pulled back hard, and stop ended up getting hit with 2 ticks of slippage for 2.5 points loss. Should have just been 2, but it is what it is. You're going to get slippage every once in a while. So then price sells off deeper into our key level, hits the exact bottom of it, starts to rally. At this point, we had some low volume moves from this sell-off that I was looking to get in on a retest for early shorts just because of how the market was looking. That did not end up playing out, and I ended up getting 2 quick long entries here when those low volume moves got taken out, and then we pulled back. So here we have some absorption at the lows. It's nothing crazy, but you can see large selling that was responded to by aggressive buying. Then on the retest, this bid right here, I've marked exhaustion slash absorption because you can see a lot of orders are coming in. Some of them are bigger, but then you also have that exhaustion prints at the lows. You see those tiny little dots. This all is happening in a bid. That's a pretty good entry, honestly. But I get in and pretty much immediately it starts reversing. This buying that I get in on does not follow through. To me, that's a red flag. My thesis was invalidated within seconds. Where I thought I saw strong buying coming in, it was not strong. So ended up losing 2.25 points on there for just over half of what I was risking. So that was a pretty good reaction and cut there. I then took this setup one more time pretty much right after. I just saw this bid down here and now getting absorbed, some buying coming off of there. Again, not a bad entry. Just would like to see that continue through within, like, really quickly break through this zone. Then I can reduce my risk. However, as soon as I get in, same thing happens, sells off. I stop out for another 2.25 points on that. 0.75 of what I was risking, so saved a little bit there too. At this point, I take a little step back. I'm like, all right, the move you're looking for, it still looks good, but your timing is obviously off. Something's not lining up with your system, so just take a second, let it happen, move on. Of course, it has a really nice rally. Just after I get stopped out, we see some absorption down here, which leads to a nice push, and that could have been the trade for the day. But did not get that. So then price starts to consolidate up here, and I get what is called a CFR setup. So it's a consolidation, failed break, and then reversal. And it's used as a continuation setup, because I'm looking mainly for long reversals here, but I missed my opportunity here, lost there, and then missed my opportunity. And now it's kind of moving, so now it's more of an intraday continuation type setup. But how it forms is first we need to see consolidation. So we see that consolidation pretty tight, nothing really crazy going on. Then a break of that consolidation, just barely. We want to see a failed break. You can see that break by pointing to. What's key here is see the seller that gets absorbed. Large selling comes in. You can see it right there, right after this consolidation. Then that reclaim was good enough for me to get in on. Risk was a little bit more on this, 4.25 points. And I did need to see further validation of my thesis by aggressive buying coming in and breaking this offer, which it did right after my entry, which allowed me to reduce my risk to 7668. But unfortunately, this fat selling came in and I got stopped out with slippage at my original risk. So that was 2 points and 2.25 points of slippage. So on the day, I almost had 3 points of slippage, which it sucks. That's one of the most aggravating things in this game because there really is nothing I can do about it. It is 100% out of my control. And the thing that is in my control is reducing my stop loss and putting it somewhere. So when you feel like you are in control and you feel like I've rewarded myself for being at least somewhat right on this move by reducing how much I'm risking, and then for this to happen, it just feels like a punch in the face, especially on my 5th loss of the day. So yeah, not the best day, not the worst. Slippage sucks. Bad entry there. Pretty unlucky on this timing here. It did what I was looking for it to do, but I'm not mad at myself for not being in this because I tried it twice and it didn't work. I don't want to just keep forcing things. Like if I would have taken this a 3rd time and it didn't work, who's to say I'm not going to take it 4, 5, 6 times and it doesn't work? It's a slippery slope there. So to me, it made sense to stop trying it. In the moment, it looked like it wasn't working. But yeah, just another day of chop. This is pretty exhausting at this point. But all we can do is react and respond and work on what we can work on, get better at what we can do, and look for positives within it. So things that we can get better on, such as losing, having a good loser's mindset, and that has been what I've been working on. So yeah, peace.